Hi everyone, I'm Tom Cole, the coach for Coach's Corner. And I want to talk today to some of you knuckleheads out there. Yes, that's right. I said knuckleheads. Those of you that are putting out over the internet and YouTube and all those other social media areas that Joe William Namath does not belong in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Knuckleheads, come closer. You are R.P. McMurphy, one flew over the cuckoo's nest crazy. And let me tell you why. Joe Willie Namath is the Babe Ruth of football. There's no question. You know how, knuckleheads, let me give it to you this way. You know how you judge greatness in sports? Greatness in sports is judged. Did this athlete change the manner in which the game is played? Muhammad Ali changed boxing forever. There'll never be another Muhammad Ali. Pete Maravich changed the game of basketball. He did things with basketball that no one will ever do. You'll never see again. Arnold Palmer changed golf. He brought the average person, not the country clubber, but the average person into golf. And he played with a flair and a savoir-faire that made the game interesting. He was a swashbuckler. Now we come to Joe Namath. Joe Namath changed the game of football for a myriad of reasons. First of all, no one ever dropped back faster than him in the history of the game. Name anybody you want. Nobody. Nobody backpedaled as quickly as he did. Nobody had the release that he has, the passing arc and the release. No one. As a matter of fact, if you do your homework, you'll find Bill Walsh, I could be wrong on this, but I think kind of a smart football guy, said that Joe Namath was the greatest passer of the football that he's ever seen in his life. And for you young folks out there, you probably won't know this name, but you should. Sid Gilman, the father of the modern passing attack, the father of the West Coast offense, the teacher of Bill Walsh and all the other predecessors that fell out of the West Coast tree. Sid Gilman said he has never, ever seen a quarterback drop back and throw the ball and had the ability to look over the field like Joe Namath. He said, end of story, done deal. Al Davis. Even Al is getting up there a little bit today. Al Davis said an interesting quote about, the first time he saw Joe Namath play, he said, this guy plays going downhill. He said, I've never seen anything like him. John Madden, if you do a little reading on John Madden, and I know some of you younger people out there know Madden from his video game, but you should know him from his coaching career in football, one of the all-time great coaches. John Madden said in his entire football career, he only went into one visitor's locker room after a game to congratulate a player. One time. And he said that was Joe Namath against the Raiders. Threw for about 400 against Madden's Raiders with no team around him. He had no running back, no receivers, no protection. The Raiders were great. The Jets were terrible. And Namath threw for 400 and lit him up. He said he never ever saw a performance like that in his life. And for you one-trick ponies out there, I hear this broadcast a lot. Namath won one big game. That's part of your deal of him not being in the Hall of Fame. Again, you haven't done your homework. He won the state championship in high school in Pennsylvania as a quarterback. State championship in high school, pretty good. He won the national championship at Alabama with Bear Bryant as starting quarterback. And then, of course, everyone knows he won the biggest championship game in the history of pro football, the largest underdog in the history of pro football in a championship game, and beat the Baltimore Colts. And, of course, the historic guarantee. Everybody today guarantees everything from going to a grocery store to a car wash, but it was really Namath who made the guarantee that shocked the world. And really, quite honestly, you aficionados of the Super Bowl, Namath saved the Super Bowl. They were seriously considering, there were talks ongoing, that if this Super Bowl was a blowout like the first two, that they would end the series, that it really was not competitive. And I'll tell you how unique Namath was. Right before they were going to introduce the team, we're going out to the Super Bowl. The Jets didn't have a chance. The fearsome Colts, one of the greatest teams in the history of professional football. The lowly Jets, they were going to get killed, hurt as much as by a 30-point deficit. I think the spread got up to 23 at one point. And right before the teams were going to be introduced, Weeb Ewbank was in a quandary. He didn't know what to do. He was all worried, and he didn't know whether he should introduce his offense or his defense first. And Namath, and remember this is right before kickoff, the biggest game of his life, turned to Ewbank, and he said, oh, hell, Weeb, he goes, why don't you introduce the seniors? Everybody in the place started laughing. They broke up. They went on the field. And, of course, the rest is history. For you people that say Namath only completed 49.5% of his passes, and that's why he doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. Guys and gals, you got to do your homework. It was a different game then. Namath was a home run hitter. He was Babe Ruth. He threw the ball deep. That's what they did. When you're completing 50% of your passes and you're basically throwing the ball deep, you are phenomenal. If he played in today's dink and dunk, drop it off, check down the West Coast offense, he'd be completing 65% of his passes. It's as simple as that. He was the first player to throw for 4,000 yards, and he did it in a shortened season compared to what the fellas had today. First player to wear long hair, white shoes, Fu Manchu mustache. He made, and knuckleheads, again, move in here. Please, move in, knuckleheads. I love you, but you're knuckleheads. He made the quarterback position a rock star. He was the first rock star in the history of pro football. He was the first quarterback to win an overtime game in pro football. He started and made Monday Night Football. He sold out Cleveland Stadium in 1970 in the first Monday Night Football game. It was an experiment, totally on his back. He revolutionized and changed the way the quarterback position is played. Does Joe Namath belong in the Pro Football Hall of Fame? Hell yes. They should have given him his own wing, for God's sakes. He helped make pro football what it is today. Tom Cole, the coach, for Coach's Corner. We will see you soon.